everyone, my name is Oyenwen and I am one of the Menlo Plaque bloggers. I am a GPSD3 based in Edinburgh, Scotland, and I'll be keeping you updated with my thoughts and experiences over the coming months. There are a few things that I'd like to discuss now, but make sure to follow Menlo Plaque on all their social media platforms, LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook and YouTube, so that you don't miss any of the videos. If you have any questions, please pop them in the comment section below and we'll be sure to answer them in the next vlog. Thank you. So really what I wanted to discuss is sort of how I got into GP training and my personal reflection on that, and then what I consider to be the evolutionary process of a medical professional in GP. So the beauty about general practice is that you can apply into GP training no matter what your medical background is. So you could quite easily be a doctor who's just completed foundation training, or you could be in a different specialty training, or you could be a specialist for a few years and then decide that you want to be a GP and apply into GP training, and you find that all that, your previous experience is really useful as you go on and become a GP. And when I look back and reflect on how I got into GP training, having, studied medicine abroad and having been in a different specialty training for a few years, and then I decided that I wanted to be a GP, and I applied into GP training, and here I am in GPSD3. Yeah, so I find that it's quite interesting that, whatever your medical background is, you can apply into GP training and so easily, find your feet with time. I think the other thing and the other question that I wanted to answer really is what it is like to be in GP training. Now, it is a quite unique process in the sense that you have that very individualized training. So you've got that one-to-one with your educational supervisor, and you've got that opportunity to develop your own personal learning goals, and really, to be honest, it's quite intense and a rigorous process, but it takes you through a developmental process, and you evolve as a medical professional. And when I reflect on my progress from when I started, I find that my confidence has increased. I think my tenacity has increased as well, and I feel quite settled in my role, really, and I am so grateful to be in this position where I can relate to a patient on different levels. And that's the other thing that I really like about being a GP, is that you get to relate with patients on different levels. So on one level, you could be relating to a patient, sort of talking about their medical problems and working with the patient to not only sort of figure out what the problem is, but also sort of come up with solutions. And it's quite a partnership, to be honest, between yourself and the patient sitting in front of you as to what happens next. I think the other level as well is that you get that opportunity to explore their psychosocial background, and find out what their ideas are, what their worries are, what their expectations for the future are, and you get the opportunity to really follow them through weeks, months, even years, and you have that continuity of care where you get to develop a meaningful relationship with your patient. And we take care of patients from the cradle even up until old age. So to be honest, I find that is quite a privilege that we have in general practice, and I think I find myself quite fortunate to be in that position. Yeah. So that is my own personal reflection, and I hope that if you are thinking about GP training, then that gives you sort of a nudge in the right direction. I hope you enjoyed that, and I'll see you in my next vlog. Thank you.